Welcome to Zombie Lectuals. I'm Zombiel and I'll be your ghost with the most today. So this is my first doll refacing. Since I'm just coming to understand the materials and tools, I'm gonna make a simple practical rendition of Stephen King's It from the recent 2017 release. Let's go on an adventure.
Adventure! We're going on an adventure, Charlie!
Join me. First, let's make some pants. I cut out an oval and make leg holes. Then I refine the shape of the garment and poked a needle through the fabric up and down to create a gathering at the crotch. I doubled up my string and left the ends hanging so I could adjust it later. I did the same for the waistband. I've always loved this style of garment. In fact, I used to dress like a pirate in high school. I hot glued the waistband so I could keep the gatherings I'd made in the fabric. I added a snapping button to the back of the puffy trousers so they wouldn't fall down. Next, I'll need some straight leg bits. I pinned those and just did a simple stitch before turning them right side out and trimming them down to size. I'm really glad I made this outfit in one sitting because the amount of time I spent on the phone with Apple tech support was excruciating. I cut 3 arches of fabric and lined them up, then divided them in half to make a consistent pattern, and sewed through all 3 layers. Oh, get right in on those nails. I don't even know what to do with those. Vitamins got them coming in like beaver teeth. Since my model was lacking appendages, I used another doll's legs to add the ruffles to the pants. I had to make sure the angle of the ruffles would reveal the shoes I would be working on next. To assemble the pants, I had to slide the leggings up under the puffy trousers. This was so I could make a garter belt to hold up the stockings. The garter belt could be a little messy since it would be hidden underneath. One of the last things I did for this outfit was the bottom leg ruffles. I only noticed those after my recent third viewing of It at our $5 theater. Totally watched The Shining at that joint.
Here's Johnny!
And it's time to get dressed. I secured the puffy part of the trousers at mid-thigh with hot glue. And that's the pants assembled. Now it's time to make the shirt. To make this top, I started with the neck ruffles, just layering a few pieces together and sewing up and down through all the layers. I left the frills longer than I'd need, so I could trim them down after sewing. Next, I make the wrist ruffles. Look at those ruffles. Look at those ruffles. The puffs at the top of the arms were hard to estimate, so I ended up making them a little too big and I cut them down to 1 poof, just so it wouldn't overpower the arm sleeves. I cut out a very bulky square shape for the back and front of the tunic that would be my top. I wanted it to be very bulky and shapeless to hide the doll's female figure. And I attached the sleeves. I whipped out the hot glue gun, because I was kinda sick of the needle. Look at that glue gun action. Yeah, zoom in on that. Let's get right in on that. There you go. Dab, dab, dab. Time to pop off this chick's hands.
Ask about free shipping.
Around this time I got a little bored, so I pulled out my dress-up game and pretended I was using it for inspiration. I cut the shirt in half on the front side, so I could create the illusion that it opened from the front. I added some fasteners to the back, and while waiting for those to cool down, I fixed one of my camera mounts. I'd lost a little rubber piece for it, and I'd been meaning to fix it for a while.
You a genius.
Now I'm just adding some glue to the joins of the different components to give it some strength. I made the pom-poms from scratch. I looked all over, but I had no red fabrics just laying around, so I ended up taking apart a hair bow. If I end up having the chance in the future, I'll probably replace these, but for now, they'll do just fine. Wow, all that sewing and all that gluing, and I didn't poke or burn myself once. And that's the shirt done.
I'm going to get what I want. Shoes.
The shoes were pretty simple. I used a pair of monster high heels that needed very little redoing. I had to cover the pink, so I sprayed with Mr. Super Clear so that the paint had something to grab onto, then painted them black. The paint I'm using here is a 3D paint. It's got great coverage, and I'm almost positive it's over 15 years old. I coated with polyurethane to give it a shine like leather, also so I could see how the finish reacts after time. I want to know if there's a cracking issue. I never paint directly from the purchase container. I always have a sealed container with a small amount, so if it gets contaminated or spills, it's not the end of the world. When it comes to polyurethane, it's very runny, so I watch it for about 20 minutes to catch the drips with a Q-tip so it doesn't warp the final product. I let them dry while I made 2 more matching pom-poms. My desk was becoming quite the disaster, and I was really glad to be finishing up the first phase of my project. Almost done! This project was an amazing challenge. The outfit was completed in approximately 4 hours total, and I wanted to push myself to create something in one sitting without perfection in mind. I have so many things to learn, and this project was a great beginning. Attach those with hot glue, trim them up, and the shoes are done. For a simplified version of this costume, I'm really happy with it. I cannot wait to add some dirt. I'll save weathering for the next video. Part 2 should be out next week. Subscribe to my channel to see the next video in this series on how I reconstructed this doll's face. Check out my Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook for updates, linked in the description down below.